On this episode of Playlog, we're talking about what happens when you're disappointed with a game, the Outer Wilds team giving out the wrong version on their physical copies, and guessing indie games based on their Steam reviews. Hey guys, CGDannyB back again with another episode of Playlog, the podcast where we talk all things indie gaming. But of course, I can't talk indie games alone because that's boring. So I've got my partner in crime, the Play Nice Kid themselves, Tofr. What's poppin', homie?
Listen, I'm gonna answer the question that you posed during your live stream of Meat and the Witch's Mountain.
Okay,
we do speak Dutch in Belgium, and what you tried during that stream was not Dutch.
Google Translate said it was. It said it was Dutch. I put English to Dutch, and I said something like CGDannyB is really cool or awesome or something like that.
Oh, and I know what the words were, but it's the pronunciation that was just.
I just think you guys say letters wrong. That's all I have to guess.
I would not disagree with that. I would not disagree with that.
No, that was great. For context, anyone who didn't see, Saturday I streamed Beacon the Witch's Mountain. I struggle to remember the user's name. Actually, I have my OBS. Can I see it? No, because you guys redeemed too many sound alerts, so I can't scroll down far enough to see the recent followers. Thanks. But somebody followed on Saturday, and they were like, "Hey, sorry if I broken sentences. And my primary language is Dutch." I'm like, "Oh, cool." They asked if I spoke Dutch. I'm like, "Nope, but I can try." So I just Google translated something, read it back, and I was like, "Yo, on a scale of 1 to 10, like -3, but 11 out of 10 for the attempt." I'm like, "Okay, I'll take that. That's pretty good. We'll rock with that."
Yeah, an attempt was made, that's for sure.
It sure was, and it was a killer one, baby. I nailed it. Anywho, as per usual, let's go through some of the other things I need to mention. Don't forget, as part of our podcast, we do our monthly book club where we'll go back and replay some indie classics or finally get around to some modern indies that we just haven't played yet. For the month of September, we'll be reviewing Moonstone Island, a creature collecting life sim set in an open world with hundreds of islands to explore. Make friends, brew potions, collect spirits, and test your strength in card-based encounters to complete your alchemy training. So if you want to get involved in the episode, play the game this month on either PC or Switch, then head on over to our write-in form and in the description and give us your thoughts on Moonstone Island for our September 24th episode, or you can watch it over on YouTube the Thursday following. It'll be live over on twitch.tv/CGDannyB or youtube.com/CGDannyB. And yeah, I bumbled the end of that, but just play the game and watch the show. That's the crux of that. You started playing yet?
I have.
Same.
It's so good.
I'm probably about 20 hours in now.
Oh damn,
dog! After Kentucky Route Zero, the palate cleanser, it was the itch. It was everything, dog. I think I was up to like 4 a.m. the one night. I'm like, I need to go to bed, but I did the thing where I plug in my Steam Deck. I'm like, we're still going. We can't stop.
No.
Yeah.
But you needed that palate cleanser.
Yeah, it was just pretty good. It's pretty good. After that trash game, anyway. I don't mean it.
Another trash game.
I'm being aggressive. It's funny. Yeah. It's engagement. If you're mean and loud and aggressive about things, people will respond like, "You're stupid." I'm like, "You're dumb."
Okay. Well then, it's not a trash game. Damn it.
All right, you don't have to swear at me. I think that was a little too far. I don't feel comfortable anymore. I'm hurt.
Oh, no.
I'm going home. You do the episode by yourself. Nah, of course we're home. Shut up. This is also a spot where I would plug the September releases video. However, I'm behind on that, so hopefully that'll be out sometime this week. After this podcast, I'm going back to trying to knock that out. It's just been busy doing some freelance stuff and everything else. I'm just a busy bloke, busy guy. So give me some time, but it'll be out, I promise. And if it's not, tough shit. What are you gonna do? Yell at me? It just didn't come out, but it will. But anywho, as per usual, how about we break the ice? Remember, you can write into the show and ask us your questions about gaming, content creation, life, and etc. And we'll read them right here on the show. Just like Zenoza did. Zenoza writes in and asks, what do you do when you're hyped for a game, but when it releases, you didn't enjoy your time playing it, or it feels like you could have been doing something else with your time? I had to sit and think about this for a while, because I can't think of the last game I was like genuinely disappointed in. I don't know if one comes to mind for you, and you have like your thoughts right away, or...
It doesn't happen all that often that I'm disappointed in a game, because I'm quite picky with what I pick up.
Right, same.
But when it's not, like when I'm not feeling it, I just generally stop playing it. There's this YouTuber Pam who has a channel Cannot Be Tamed.
Okay.
And each month she does a rundown of what she's been playing, and one of the things that she mentions is that she retires games when she stops playing them without finishing them. And I think that's exactly what I do.
Yeah, I think I'm in that same spot. I think one of like the primary examples I can think of is No Man's Sky. And seeing how long ago that was, like how rarely I'm disappointed in a game that I pick up. But I'll typically grab something, and if I gravitate towards it, I want to play it all the way through, awesome, and I'll spread the praise of his game, how much I love it. Where something, again, like No Man's Sky, where I was really into it for like the first like 24 hours. I was like exploring and everything. But like No Man's Sky was the game that awoke into me how much I hate space travel and like flying in spaceships and everything else. So any game that like, oh, this looks really cool. I don't necessarily hate outer space and exploring planets, but definitely the space travel itself. So when I see a game introduce itself with that kind of like a gameplay, I'm like, ooh, that's an immediate turn off, and I know that's one I won't play. But I'm also one to like retire games. I get a lot of review codes. I have to like still keep myself in check of like, I'm not in a spot where every game I want to play I get keys for, but I do get a lot of them now, which is like such a great, cool blessing to have. But I always want to remember like, hey, this game did cost money for some people, and like whether that's worth your dollar versus getting it for free is something really to note when you're doing a review. So a lot of times, like if I retire a game or I start a game and I don't finish it, or even a game that I did finish, like recently Arco, like I was kind of middling on that one. Like I'll play it eventually. Then I got a key. I'm like, now I'm really excited. And I loved it for the most part, but playing it on Switch, the performance was just awful. And that would probably be my disappointment. And I think I felt bad for wanting to be like, hey, I want to tell everyone how great this game is, but I have to tell you that on Switch, it does not perform well. It's not good. I've heard great things for Steam. So I'm like, I didn't play it on Steam, so I can't review it that way. But I will tell you, other people told me it's great for Steam, so go play it that way.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's tough because like I don't think I've been like heartbroken by a game in a long time. But still, it does suck when you put like $60-$70 now for these AAA titles that are dog ass.
No, but like apparently it has been a long time because No Man's Sky released 8 years ago, Danny.
That's almost
8
a decade,
years.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember working the midnight release of GameStop. That I have to find it if I can put it out on Instagram or something. But there's me and my buddy Kanai both working the midnight release. We had 2 GameStops. It was too expensive to stay open in the mall. So we take all of our copies, be like, hey, we're doing the midnight tonight at the other store. So pay for it here. You pick up your copy there. So we'd bring a giant box of all of our pre-orders. And then it's me and him taking a selfie with the game, and I'm doing like I'm excited, and he did like a pretend like I'm pissed face. And then by the time we played the game, I'm like, oh man, he had the right reaction. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, but listen, the soundtrack is really good. It's by a band called 65 Days of Static, and you should check out all of their albums.
You should. They like are they still making new music for it? Or they just use the same soundtrack from the beginning, or?
It's like they haven't made new music for it, but the sound designer has.
Okay.
Based on their music.
Oh, okay. Did they still hit the same note? Is it just like you're not quite the guys, or like?
It's pretty good. Like, it's been a while since I played, but if I remember correctly, it's hard to like discern whether it's the band themselves or the sound designer.
Okay. I mean, that sounds good in terms of like immersion state. I always want to just be like, I remember the Mick Gordon Doom stuff that happened, and that was a whole like can of worms. I'm like, I just want to make sure like if we're doing things, we're not fucking people over. Make sure it's like a mutual like, I don't want to do this anymore. We don't want you anymore. Blah blah blah. And we're not treading on toes or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, great question, Oza. I like the ones because we get occasional ones just like, what's your favorite indie game? If you could play one, if you're stuck on an island, like, but like some of the ones that are more like, here's how I play games or like things I think about. Like I like those questions because they're things I guess I think about but don't think to talk about. But I guess if there was like a tip or an advice thing to go with that one, it's just like, hey, if you dislike the game you're playing on Steam, remember you have 2 hours for a refund. So if you haven't played 2 hours yet, you should be able to request a refund and get your money back to be like, you know what? Wasn't worth my time. And I think it's important to vote with your wallet, especially now where there's so many games to play, and we're recording this on the day like Concord just got shut down. And not indie, but like it's important. Like gamers weren't willing to play Concord because everything Concord does you can play for free in Destiny and or Overwatch. So it's hard to really justify the $40 price point. So just things to note for game devs and everything. So Yeah.
Absolutely. I missed the age of renting games though.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That was cool.
I always thought it'd be cool to do like a virtual Blockbuster. And like I guess you do have game trials and stuff, but like on PlayStation that's tailored behind like their premium tier, what like their top $100 a year whatever tier. I think it's really cool. I like the idea of it. There was a program and I think it shut down, but it was essentially like a Netflix for indie games where you would subscribe and have like a catalog. And I thought that was really cool, but like I can't think of the website, and when I try and Google it, like I don't get the results I'm looking for, so I assume it's just gone.
It is gone. I remember that, and I remembered the URL, and it just disappeared.
Damn.
Yeah.
I see it. Yeah. I had so many games written. I think I only played like 1 or 2 games on it. I was like, I definitely want to like stick to this and try it out, but I always had the games I wanted to play versus like, oh, here's cool games that I could play type deal. So I'm just saying, if they had Cuphead on that platform, they would have succeeded. That would have been another platform you'd play this damn game on. I'll tell you what, Tofr, they put Cuphead on the fucking Playdate, and I'm in.
That would be like they should make like a version that runs on the Playdate.
I would love it. That'd be so cool. That'd be great. However, we could ramble about games all the time. Great, the timestamp's still broken. It gave me the error. Gotta do it manually.
No.
It's fine. Don't you hate everything? Actually, what if I do bop bop? Cool. So starting at 0. All right. You know what? Don't even worry about it. I'm not even gonna sweat it. Timestamps are dumb anyway. But let's move on to the quick indie news. We're talking about some of the things going on in the indieverse right now. We have 2 articles to talk about today. The first one being the physical edition of Outer Wilds Archaeologist Edition has the wrong version of the game on the disc. Fascinating.
Yeah.
You threw the news headlines together, so appreciate you for putting that together in the doc while I was being lazy and or busy at the same time. But this one is from Eurogamer, written by Vicky Blake. Annapurna Interactive says there's been a glitch in the time loop, and the PS5 physical edition of Outer Wilds Archaeologist Edition has been printed with the wrong version of the game. As the Echoes of the Eye expansion was unknowingly not included on the disc, Annapurna invites players to contact I Am 8-Bit's customer support team with proof of purchase to receive a DLC voucher code. Quote, unfortunately, the PS5 physical edition of Outer Wilds Archaeologist Edition, the wrong version of the game made it into manufacturers. The team explained via a statement posted on X/Twitter. And then you can see the big old JPEG block of text explaining what happened there. While Annapurna continues to investigate, if you purchase the copy from any global retailer, please provide proof of the purchase to I Am 8-Bit customer service to receive a DLC voucher to redeem for the expansion. We sincerely apologize for this inconvenience. Some folks and particularly collectors are very unhappy with the news and Annapurna's proposal solution. Let me see. Oh, wow, said one collector. That's a bunch of crap for people keeping this collector's edition sealed, as we collectors do, not completed on disc. I don't really consider a voucher good enough. Sorry, added another. I specifically bought this for the content being on the disc, not a one-use code. And then there's a couple other reviews here going on, talking about some of the other people's thoughts. Where are you at on this? With the wrong version printed, whether you think it's like a conspiracy theory, they screwed it up and did it wrong. Are we just like, oh, that's weird? Oh, well, just give me the code. Like, if you had your copy of Outer Wilds, where are you at?
I would be perfectly happy with the voucher, with a code to download it. I get that some people like prefer to have it all on their disc.
Sure,
but like the collector who said like us collectors who keep our games sealed, like it doesn't make a difference then.
Yeah, that's kind of
like,
where
you're not
at.
gonna use the disc.
I saw that, and like I've maybe not so much recently, but I've definitely been like buy the game digital when it's on sale, grab the physical one so I have it for the shelf.
Yeah,
like the amount of I own 4 copies of Moonlighter, 2 physical PlayStation 4 ones, a digital one, and the Switch one. Because like I got the US and the PEGI versions for I'm a behemoth for Moonlighter. But like I sit here and think, as the collector, and I'm not someone who collects like that. I don't necessarily keep my games sealed for that purpose. So maybe I don't quite understand like the energy. If you are a collector, I'd love to feel like what the vibe is for that. But yeah, if you're not opening it and like maybe in your heart of hearts, you know, like this isn't the complete edition, but also, I guess maybe for reseller purposes, but I don't know. I can't entirely find the super mega issue with it, right? Where like if I bought the game to own it and then I have the voucher, I still have to download it. I understand it's an inconvenience, but also when it's downloaded, it's downloaded. Then it's said and done. Get your voucher, download the demo or the DLC, play the game while you have it, and then when you have access to it, I don't know. I think it's a dumb, goofy mistake. I think it's weird that like they somehow got the wrong version, but at the end of the day, I guess I'm not seeing the reason for the uproar about like, oh, my code's not in the box.
Exactly. Like I think the same thing. It's a whole lot about nothing.
Yeah.
Really.
But that's gamers. We just like to be angry.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's just be mad. Speaking of angry gamers, the next headline, Tofr, I'm interested in talking about. Dustborn devs fight back against the backlash the game has received. This is one by Kenneth Shepard over at Kotaku. Let me pull this one up. Dustborn devs condemn tidal wave of hate and abuse directed at the team. Red Thread Games' adventure rhythm action game Dustborn has been out for a week and a half now and has spent most of the time at the center of cultural war bullshit. The game certainly has some problems we laid out in our review, but if you search the game on Google right now and look at the user reviews, you'll see plenty of user reviews complaining not about any legitimate gameplay or design gripes, but instead about the quote woke mind virus and a bunch of other buzzwords used to complain when people of color, queer folks, and outwardly left politics are expressed in media. After 10 days of this infecting the game's community and the online conversation around it, Red Thread Games has released a statement condemning the hate speech harassment. And then I'll pull that up here. I really liked this post. They have it just on Twitter, comments off, only certain people can reply. But this is, again, JPEG image that we have. To our community, since we first announced Dustborn, we've read your comments and listened to your feedback, hopes, and wishes for the game. Over the past 4 years, our team has poured their hearts into telling a story that's deeply meaningful to us. A story about the power of words, about building a world where everyone can feel safe, about love, friendship, and robots, of course. We expected Dustborn to spark conversation and debate and looked forward to engaging with our players in a positive, constructive fashion. Unfortunately, that conversation has been drowned out by a tidal wave of hate and abuse. We welcome thoughtful feedback and respectful criticism. We embrace discussion and debate, but we have zero tolerance for hate speech, harassment, and threats of any kind. Those who engage in such behavior will be removed from our community. To everyone else, thank you for coming on this journey with us. Your support means everything, and your constructive feedback continues to push us to learn and evolve. Together, we'll continue building a world where everyone can feel valued and empowered to share their stories from Red Thread Games. Tofr, this was very uplifting for me since the release of Dustborn. I haven't spoken too much publicly, maybe just in Twitch chat. For context of how I typically do my content, I will do my monthly, like, hey, here are the games coming out this month. And then as the release date comes around, I break out all of those individual ones to like, here's a short, here's a YouTube, a TikTok, whatever. Of like, hey, here the game came out today. Not a review, not feedback, just like, hey, here's the game. I had posted the one for Dustborn, which may have been the most engaged and viewed short that I had, but it was flooded with hatred, racism, bigotry, whole 9 yards. It broke me when I got the feedback on that video, because it wasn't even like I said, this game is great, this game is bad. There was no review. It was just like, this game is out. And it was filled with people calling me woke, saying like, oh, this game's terrible. How could you even mention this game? Blah, 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 blah. Why would you even talk about this trash? Who's paying you to talk about it? I've still yet to play Dustborn. It's on my list, but like Black Myth Wukong's been everything right now. And I ended up turning off the comments on that video just to turn off the hate and get it out of my face. And the people who were strong enough is the wrong word. People who were like diligent enough to still get at me went to my other videos and started commenting and saying, oh, turn off your comments. Homie can't take criticism. And it wasn't about criticism. I echo a lot of the things they said in this, because if it's criticism, I'm all for it. I want to hear, like, what do you not like? What do you disagree with? If we want to have a discussion about the game, that's perfect. We can all have different things, just like we did with Kentucky Route Zero. No one left here pissed at the other for not liking the game or liking the game. That's how games should be. So the fact that I posted TikTok about Mika and the Witch's Mountain, and someone tells me that, like, oh, you can't take criticism. Turn the comments back on, coward. It wasn't about criticism. It was about outright racism. It was about the fact that a game came out with LGBTQ plus, and black characters. All of a sudden, it's like the most woke game, and that, like, this is the same energy I had. Maybe it wasn't as loud, but Forspoken had a very similar thing. Granted, Forspoken, we can go back and forth about the quality of that game and everything. But yeah, I've heard so few people talk about the actual quality of the game and just complaining that like, oh, game bad because black people, game bad because gay people. And that sucked primarily for me because, black, as someone who's, at least at this point in my life, things can change. As straight, like LGBTQ, not necessarily something that I identify with, but I'm an ally of. Like, I hate to see people just not be able to be recognized in games. And this happened the week we did our episode about people of color in games. So it was very just like unfortunate timing where we already recorded, then everything happened and I couldn't really go back and add anything to it. But yeah, there's just a vocal minority of people who love to scream from the rooftops how much they hate not seeing a strong white man in their games. And I think this proves everything we talked about in that episode. And I was so nervous and like scared for the team, right? They put so many years into this. I got to talk with some of the devs at PAX. I loved how passionate they were about putting this project out. That had me excited for it. And I can't wait to actually sit down and play it. But I also got scared to even touch it, getting all that feedback. Like, what if some random person finds my PSN, like, he's playing the game, guys. He's actually playing the game. Oh God. Now they have 83 players on Steam. Like, I was petrified to even think about Dustborn. And this was a very uplifting, like, thing to see, and I'm glad the team is still staying strong behind it. I still plan to play Dustborn here, so we have it for like game of the year conversation, etc. But man, people fucking suck.
Yeah, they do. And I have immense respect for the developers for how eloquently they put that. Because it would be easy to retreat and not say anything.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't blame them for like just retreating, because it's vicious. The way that these people try to argue.
Yeah.
It's just vicious racism and sexism and transphobia and whatever. And it sucks. And the whole, like, I've debated people about the word woke, because I feel like woke is only a thing when it's used in a negative way by people who just like dislike something and they're just gonna say, "Oh, that's woke."
Yep.
Black people woke.
Yeah.
Gay people woke. Left.
It's so crazy. It's wild that like my existence is woke. I've been on this planet for almost 30 years, and all of a sudden the last I've been argued to say as far back as 10 years that I've become woke all of a sudden for existing is fucking absurd to me. It's crazy. I just at the end of the day I know there are people who get it. And I say white people very loosely just to generalize, but like I know for a fact I'm sitting here with you and we're having this conversation where we're on the same page. But like the amount of just people who are not of color who just want to scream from the rooftops about like a character that doesn't look like me being in this game. It's terrible. It's bad. It's woke. I hearken it to the same way, mostly anime watchers, but they use the term mid, where mid quite literally means like in the middle. Like it's a 5 out of 10. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's mid. That's what mid means. And it has lost that meaning in conversation because everyone says mid means bad. Mid means terrible. Like, as a fan of My Hero Academia, I can talk about anime on this podcast. I love that show. We've just been drowned out by a toxic community of people who like to ship teenagers, which is super weird. Like, that's weird. Yeah. So it's hard when someone's like, what's your favorite anime? I'm like, I always have to preface, hey, I love My Hero Academia, but for the show. I'm not in the fan base. I'm not shipping kids. I think the cute high school relationships that the show creates, that's awesome. There are some weird things where like, oh, Invisible Girl doesn't wear clothes, but like other character does, and he can make it. It's very weird. I'm not taking away any of that weirdness. It happens. But anytime someone outside talks about My Hero, it's mid, and when they say mid, they mean the worst thing possible. And I think woke's done the same thing, where I think woke had like a basic meaning of like, oh, you're very like observant to like modern culture and being acknowledging like people change or people feel this way, or like not everything's as binary as blue and pink, boy and girl. Like things aren't just that simple. And now it just means like you're fucking crazy for thinking you're not just a man with a bippus between your legs. What are you doing down there? Like they just make it so complicated. And I hate it. Yeah,
same. When the X-Men '97 cartoon was released earlier this year,
so have to watch
there were so many people going, "Oh, I hope they don't make it woke."
Yeah.
Like, it's an allegory for LGBTQIA plus people, and its two main characters, Professor X and Magneto, are based on Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. How do you think this is not going to be woke?
But Topher, it's okay because those guys are white. That makes it not woke.
Oh, it was still considered woke. You know what? You know why? You know why? Because they took the shape of Rogue's ass and they flattened it.
Well, I gotta agree with him there. That's crazy. How could you do this to me? That's the only reason I'm watching. That's ridiculous. Yeah. I could sit here all day and probably just repeat myself in a loop of saying the same thing with different words, but back to the team. I think this is such a cool thing. I'm glad they put this statement out. I guarantee there's some other hateful, nerdy gamer boys who try to shoot them DMs on some social media platform and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 blah. But I stand with the team. I think Red Thread, like, and they made something really cool here that just got, like, one of those things where people weren't mad at anything at the moment, so they found something to be mad at and just hung on to it. And I can see all the fucking 12 to 15-year-old boys in their mom's basement going, well, I'm going to call out some black creators today. Because a lot of other people who've made videos, I see they also have their comments off. And it makes sense because most of them are people of color. Just being like, oh yeah, I guess I got to turn these off because I'm just getting called racist terms for existing and talking about this game. But
yeah.
Ho hum.
I do believe that those same gamer boys have moved on to Star Wars Outlaws because it's a woman.
Yeah. To be fair, there shouldn't be any women in Star Wars. We all know this. Nah, dude. Personally, hot take, and I'm sure, listen, if you're there, let me live. I enjoyed the new trilogy. I liked Rey. I don't say I liked the last movie, but like I thought Rey was cool. I thought Rey was
the
dope.
last movie was trash.
I can say as a not Star Wars fan, just give me more Mandalorian. I still have to watch season 3, but like I enjoyed the Mandalorian.
Let me tell you, the last movie was so bad that I have not watched any of the series because I've just been turned off from Star Wars and like that. Yeah, it's Jesus Christ, that was bad.
Great. Yeah, I think I watched like most of the shows. Like I haven't watched Bad Batch, Acolyte, which just got canceled. Which again, woke bullshit, whatever. I watched Acolyte. I haven't watched. What was the other one that people really liked?
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan. I started. So there was like the fan edit that cut it down to like a 3-hour movie, or whatever. I started that one day and just never got back to it. But you know, maybe one day I'll go back. But I still have to watch. I haven't watched Boba Fett either. I've just basically watched Mandalorian season 1 and 2. So I didn't watch season 3 and then see what happens. But anyway, Star Wars is an indie. But yeah, those are headlines for the day. Dustborn, keep on keeping on. Red Thread, love you guys. I love what you put in that game. Can't wait to see what's next and how this game hopefully continues to grow. But now we're on to the topic of the show. A little game that you came up with, Topher. How about I let you explain it? Because you're the one who came up with this gem. I'm excited for it.
I didn't come up with it because
take the credit.
There was a YouTube channel who used to do this on a weekly basis.
Okay.
But I can't remember which one it was. But basically, we take a positive and a negative Steam review from an indie game that has at least 20,000 Steam reviews, and the other person has to guess which game we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm going to have Steam open while we do this because I did not do the 20,000. So I have to be like, does this one have 20,000? And if it doesn't, I won't make a new one. I'll just preface it. You know what? It doesn't have 20,000. Just know that it should be mainstream enough to be like, oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. So I had written down the game, the release month and year. I didn't go all for the date. I put the overall review status, and then I put a positive and a negative review. I figured we could go back and forth, and then we could ask do you want the positive or the negative one? And then if you pick which one you want, I'll give you the negative or positive review you want. If you can guess from that, great. If not, I can give you the positive one or the inverse. And then if you don't get it, you don't get it. And then be like, oh, the game was this, or we didn't really come up with rules. We just said do the thing. So
that's cool.
Cool. We also came up with, I was going to say we came up with 10. Topher came up with 20. So in case there's any crossover, we should have backup. I think the plan is to do 5, just because we're trying to still enjoy the show, the podcast, and have the discussions, but we don't want to make it the 2-hour episode every week. So we're going to try for the 5. If it happens to go quick, we'll do a few more. And if it takes up enough time and we can finish up the show with that, we'll just save the rest for another episode. And hopefully you guys like this so we can do it again.
Yeah. Cool. And why not guess along with us and let us know in the comments.
So make a list, make a 1 through 10, put your guesses, and then you can't change it when we give the answer. Don't act like you were right. Don't cheat. It just shows your indie diversity and knowledge.
Yeah.
All right. You put this one on the list, your idea. Do you want to guess first or you want to read first?
I want to read first.
Okay. All right.
Let me see, because I have plenty to pick from. I'm gonna start with, I think, the one that has the most reviews that I found.
Okay.
But I just need to check if that's what I think it is.
To find out. Like, actually, only 20 reviews.
So this game came out in 2016.
Okay.
It's overwhelmingly positive on Steam with over 639,000 reviews. Yeah, it's a big one. Do you want the negative review or one of the positive reviews?
Let's do 2016. My brain's percolating. I'm just like Overwatch, Uncharted, what indies came out in 2016. I can't think. Let's do the negative one. Let's do the negative review.
Okay, the negative review is by the Royal Brick, who has played this game for 56 hours.
Okay.
And he says, or they say, a uniquely addictive game that I am surprised to say I didn't like. This is without a doubt a very high quality, excellent game, but if you are the kind of person that gets easily stressed out by a packed to-do list, this game might not be for you. I was constantly focusing on how to get to the next objective and the next. I think that's a strong suit for folks who want a game with a lot of challenges to overcome, but for me, too stressful, because time management matters in this game.
Okay, so the task list and the time management immediately, like, I think, like Life Sim. I think Stardew first. I think Stardew was before 2016 though.
All right.
So I'm like, was there a Life Sim that popped off in 2016? You said 600,000 reviews.
639,000.
That sounds like Stardew.
Are you locking that in?
It sounds like the right pick. Someone's like, Danny, no, that was in 2011, which it wasn't. It can't be 2011. Way too old. Yeah, let me lock in Stardew.
Correct.
I'm such a genius, baby. Let me hear the positive one too. I want to hear the positive review on that one.
I have 2 positive reviews.
Okay.
One is from Salsa, who has played this for 505 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And they say you play this game every night on your bed when you imagine fake scenarios like having your own house, money, and a wife.
That's really good. It's so true.
And the second positive review is by Talpstar, who has 705 hours played.
Damn.
Very easily my favorite game. It's like playing a hug.
Aw, I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. That's great.
All right.
Okay. Ooh, it's your turn to get a game. Yeah, I'm just gonna give you the first one.
The thing is, like, years are not gonna help me. I have no idea what released when, so this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I think if we're talking the last like 3 or 4 years, I think the year will help. But if we're talking like, oh, this came out in 2017, I'm like, oh god, I wasn't quite the indie guy yet. Like I played indies, but it wasn't my like content. So I'm like, I don't know dates. But I'll give you this one. This one is August 2020. All reviews are very positive. I'll something know for later. We'll see. Do you want the positive or you want the negative?
Give me the negative.
Okay. It's a longish one. One of the buggiest updates I have ever seen for a game. This went from one of my all-time favorite games to completely broken in a single patch, with game-breaking bugs including the final boss becoming completely invincible, soft-locking the game, enemy spawn rates being tied to frame rate, making the game significantly more difficult for high refresh rates, and far easier at 30 FPS. If you want to play this game because of the new DLC launch, please wait for a patch first, because the game is terrible right now. If you just want to play the game, I recommend looking into downpatching the game into an earlier version.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was thinking like with the release date, I was thinking of Hades,
Okay.
but I have no idea. What the hell?
Did you hear that?
I heard that.
Yeah. I was telling Tofr before, my family was gaslighting me about noise in this house, and someone just spilt something up there. I think someone knocked stuff off in the shower. I'm gonna assume they're okay, but fucking crazy.
Maybe it's a sign that I'm right about Hades.
Yeah, listen, you might be.
But the thing is, does Hades have DLC? I honestly can't remember. And you can't tell me because that would be cheating.
Yeah, I'm sitting here wondering. I'm like, is that giving too much information? Be like yes or no, because then it tells you yes or no. Yeah. I'll stay quiet over here.
But August 2020. Can I get a positive review as well?
Absolutely. Over 1,000+ hours on this game? Yes, this game continues to be my favorite to play. No run is the same as the next one, and each survivor has a quirk. Dying is essential to growth and getting better at the game, eagerly waiting the release of Blank, which is the name of the DLC.
I'm gonna go with Hades. I can't remember if that has DLC, but like over 1,000 hours and like being... Oh, wait a minute. Each survivor is different. Oh, this is hard. It was so much easier to like find reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm locking in Hades. I'm probably wrong, but I'm locking in Hades.
Hades is wrong. Hades is wrong. Damn. You're definitely onto something with the survivors. When I was testing this on the guys, now they play this game all the time, so survivors was like the giveaway for them. Okay. Do you want another guess, or you just want me to tell you?
Just tell me.
Risk of Rain 2.
Oh, yep. I would have never guessed that.
No, damn. I was like, I think this one might be big enough. So because Gearbox bought or the team sold the property or whatever, and now like they put out the new Seeker of the Storm, I believe. I deleted it, so I don't know. I think Seeker of the Storm was a new expansion, and I guess that just butchered so much. In the negative review, this thing was like a novel. It was like 40 bullet points of things that went wrong. I reduced it to just 2.
Damn.
Now, when someone who doesn't play all that often, also I forgot, sorry, Adore Me for the negative review, and Lather Me, whoever for the positive review. Steam names are weird. But yeah, Risk of Rain 2 was the one.
I had no idea that came out in 2020.
Right? I thought it was so much more recent, because I think I only started playing it in like 2021, 2022.
Yeah.
It'd be there.
Okay.
It'd be there.
So you're winning.
I'm pretty good.
All right, let me see which one do I pick. Yeah, this one's funny. Okay, so this game came out in 2015.
Okay.
It's at overwhelmingly positive with 211,000 reviews.
Shovel Knight.
No.
Okay. It's 2015. Okay. No, I think it was 2014. I forget what it was. Go ahead.
Do you want the negative review or want positive reviews?
Let me do positive this time. Let me see what the good people have to say.
I have 2 of them because it might not be clear enough. Sure. The first positive review is by Rose, who has played this for 112 hours.
Okay.
And Rose says, "Do not go to DeviantArt."
Okay. That's it for Rose?
Yeah. And then the second positive review is by Snook, who has played this for 56 hours. And they say, 1. Accidentally kill the first boss. 2. Cry. 3. Reset and redo the boss. The boss fight. 4. Get called out on it. 5. Cry again.
Undertale.
You locking that in?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, that's correct.
Let's go, baby. Okay. The first boss one was the one that got me. Because I'm like, I guess, is that Papyrus?
No, it's the lady.
Oh, Toriel. Yeah. No, you're right. Toriel. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Damn. I
2 for
like
2.
The 2015 never would have stuck with me. I never would have had it. And I'm like, fuck, what would it have been? Because the DeviantArt made me think Hades. I'm like, oh yeah, everyone's drawing Hordy start of 80s. Damn, that's funny. That DeviantArt's funny.
You want to know the negative review?
I do want to hear the negative review. Because I did not do Undertale. I was going to do Undertale and didn't, so.
Okay. The negative review is by Skino, who played it for 12 hours, and they say 0 out of 10, not enough conveniently shaped lamps.
What the fuck? Would I have gotten that? I don't know if my brain would have connected. I think once I knew it, I'm like, oh, that makes sense for the lamp. I don't know if my brain would have clicked with that one. Interesting. Okay.
2 for 2.
Killing it, baby. I'm the best.
Yeah.
It's not a competition. It's for fun. Let us know how you guys are doing. Did you get a 3 yet? You guys doing good? I wonder if I just go down the list or start hopping around. You know what I mean? You know what? I'm gonna hop around a little bit. This next one came out in November 2018, sitting at very positive on Steam. You want the positive or the negative?
Give me the positive this time.
Fun game, but don't get it if you can't stand iPad kids and or 6 to 12-year-olds because they never stop talking about Skibbity, Riz, and Sigma. Crying emoji, skull emoji.
What the? Like, all of these terms are recent, and this is a game from 2018.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell released in 2018 that could have this effect today? Good lord. I'm drawing a complete blank here. Wow. 2018.
You're saying all the things that should give you it. This is also by Yurikin64. Sorry, I forgot to give you credit.
That's okay. 2018. Can I get the negative review as well?
You certainly can. This game used to be genuinely one of the best and most fun multiplayer games out there. However, due to the recent updates that added a bunch of nonsense and annoying changes to the game, along with a multitude of bugs, this game has become so bad it's quite disheartening to think back about about what it once was. I would honestly no longer recommend you this game. In previous versions, it was very good, and I would recommend it highly. But in the state of the game now, I would seriously not play it.
Oh, damn, multiplayer. That's. Mm-hmm. I have no idea about multiplayer games. What? I don't play multiplayer games.
I think because I'm being nice with the hints, right? Mm-hmm. I think though it is multiplayer, I think the typical stigma of multiplayer is not what you're looking at here. We're not talking like PvP Call of Duty shooter type multiplayer.
Okay.
I also wouldn't go as far to say co-op. But I would say on a scale more co-op than it would be like PvP shooter.
Interesting. Still does not ring a single bell. You're gonna have to tell me.
Okay. You want to take a random guess? Be like, it could be this. I can tell you if you're right or wrong.
I have no clue.
Among Us.
See, like, you know why that didn't register? Because in my mind, that game released in 2020.
Yep.
I know it didn't. But
that's what I was going for when I was like, let me grab the one about like it was good and then wasn't and this, that, and the other, and it was like 2018. Because you kept saying like 2018, but like those words are so modern. I'm like, yeah, what's the game that came out? And then like all the kids are playing it now.
God damn. I am pretty bad at this.
Now it's probably I'm like, man, did I pick bad games? That's the question. You know what I mean? That's what I'm at.
No, you didn't. I mean, Among Us is like one of the biggest games.
Yeah. That was the fun one. I think when we came with the idea, Risk of Rain and Among Us were the first two I like wrote down. And I was like, okay. So I want to put these ones.
Okay, let's see. I have to find something that you might guess, but you might not guess.
Hit me with the hardest one.
So,
go through your list of 20. Go through your Rolodex of indie games.
I am. Let's see. That one is pretty difficult. Oh boy. Picking one is just as difficult as guessing one.
I'm like scrolling up and down. I'm like, do I take this one? Or do I take this one? What's on next?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna take this one. It released in 2017.
Okay.
It's overwhelmingly positive. At 326,000 reviews. Do you want one of the negative reviews? Or like, no, I'm going to give you both negative reviews or both positive reviews.
2017, overwhelmingly positive. Let's go with the negatives. It's like the negative reviews.
Negatives?
Yeah.
Okay. The first negative review is by Burke, who played this for 86 hours
Okay.
And they say, literally the best game ever made, but it's not Garfield Kart, so negative review it is.
God damn it.
Yeah. And the second negative review is by the friendly memer 69,
Okay.
who played this for 60 hours. And they said, just a bad Silk Song knockoff, to be honest.
Bad Silk Song knockoff. Which tells me that it is a Metroidvania in the same realm as Silk Song or Hollow Knight. It just isn't. I think Chasm, but I don't think it's Chasm. See, the not Garfield kart made me think it was as simple as like it's a kart racer that's just not Garfield kart, and I'm like, is it still a kart racer? It's still kart racing in it. And the knockoff in my head, I think that came after, right? So I'm like, ooh, what's a more recent Metroidvania? I keep thinking of Constance, but that's not out yet, so I don't think it would have reviews.
It's from 2017.
Right, that's right. You just said 2017.
Remember,
okay, this is 2017. Metroidvania 2017. When was Axiom Verge 2? I think I was like 2018, 2019.
I can still offer you positive reviews.
I was going to say, yeah, give me the positives. Give me the positives.
Okay. The first positive review is by Novaex, I think. I have no idea how to pronounce it. And they've played for 72 hours.
Okay.
And they say, it's 2020. I'm 29 years old. I've been playing video games since I was 8. I've had good times with some of the greatest titles ever made. This is the best game I've ever played. I robbed the developer by only paying $20 for such a masterpiece. And the second positive review is by Raynak, who's played for 53 hours. And they say, the game has a lot of bugs, but luckily most are easy to defeat.
So like now I'm like, is it just Hollow Knight? Are people being dumb and stupid, being goofy? Is that like the funny haha? And then I'm like, did we pick the same game? And I was about to like, interesting. Fuck. I'm assuming they're being cheeky. Hollow Knight.
Final answer?
Yeah.
3 for 3, baby.
I'm an animal. Let's go. That's the Silk Song one really threw me because I thought it was like dumb enough to be like, oh, it can't be Hollow Knight if they're talking about Silk Song, or I'm like, oh, it's some degenerate online that doesn't realize they're the same game. That's really funny. That's really funny. I was
hoping that would throw you off, but
and then the bugs got me too because I was just like a bunch of annoying bugs you can defeat them. I'm like, ooh, a really buggy game. No, actual bugs. Okay. That's really funny. That was tricky because I was just like, oh, it's Hollow Knight, but it's not Hollow Knight. So what's like Hollow Knight? And I was really just circling that drain. That's crazy. Okay. I know which one I'm giving you. I'm giving you this one.
Okay.
This one is from August 2013. It sits at very positive. You want the positives and negatives?
Give me the negative.
Negative, okay. This review is from Simlale, something like that. Meh, some good game mechanics, but overall, the color coding mechanics and fighting gets really repetitive. I did not really have any incentive to go back and collect stuff. The last boss fight was such a drag, I did not bother finishing it. It was the build-up towards what was really underwhelming. Platforming was fun, and the linearity is cool, but I did not enjoy it as much as the other indie Metroidvanias.
2013. Good lord, what the hell came out in 2013?
Oh boy. I think it's weird because I think this game feels newer than it is.
Okay. 2013 and it's a Metroidvania. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't play Metroidvania.
Alright, delete the whole list of Metroidvanias, okay?
Could it be?
You got this. Talk it out. Speak out loud. You're playing for yourself.
I'm not sure if this is considered indie, but I'm thinking of the Ori games.
I would say.
But I don't know if they're that old. But I'm gonna go with Ori and the Blind Forest.
Okay, now we didn't do because we said the positive. Are we going with if you guess and get it wrong, do you still get the positive and go again? I don't think we tried that, but I'm totally down for those rules.
You can just tell me the positive one, but I don't get to guess again.
Okay,
but I'm guessing that I'm wrong since
it's not Ori. It's not Ori, but Ori's great. Ori's fantastic. I want those on the PlayStation so I can replay them again.
Wait. Before you give us this positive review, is it Axiom Verge?
No, it is not Axiom Verge. That's a good guess. That's a good guess.
Okay.
Let me give you so the positive is from the Dogter. I assume it's Doctor, but it's a dog.
Okay.
I wanted to play this game for so long and finally got around to it. It was not what I expected. I thought it would be a 2D fighter, but it was much more than that. A puzzle, Homie forgot some nouns in here. A puzzle, a parkour, and even exploration. Oh, I see. No commas. Exploration game. I never thought such a simple game could be played for 21 hours and only open like 33% of the map. Fantastic production. Gracias.
I have no clue. Not a single clue.
Guacamelee.
Wow. Damn. I can't believe that was from 2013.
2013. It's wild, dude. But I think it's because they've had the original one, the gold edition, and then like the super turbo one. And I think the super turbo was like 2015 or something like that. Okay. I'd have to double check, but this was one of my first indies, like when I didn't know what an indie quite was. I even bought it. GameStop used to carry like steelbooks. I think it was an IM8-bit thing. I could be wrong. But they would carry like the steelbooks that just came with the code inside. And I have upstairs like the steelbook of like the super turbo whatever edition of Guacamelee. And it's pretty clean. It's pretty dope.
Nice.
Yeah. Guacamelee. Tofr, listen, we gotta get you one. We gotta get you one, okay?
I have to get one. Like I'm losing all of my credit here.
Yeah. I think, chat. You tell me, did I pick bad games? Because if you're getting Tofr's and not mine, that means I picked bad games.
I don't think so. But listen. If we're gonna go with old games, let me get you one old game.
Listen, give me an old game. Give me 2003.
No, this one came out in 2011.
Okay.
It's overwhelmingly positive with 59,000 reviews. Do you want the negative or positive?
I feel like the negatives are always so much more telling. Let's go with the negative.
Okay. This one's by Boto Boy, who has played this for 3 hours. I felt that this game was held back entirely by its two main leads, who felt the need to share their hilarious commentary throughout the entire story. Their banter felt so forced and awkward that I'm amazed at all the positive reviews on Steam. The controls were also very clunky, and the mouse clicks didn't give proper feedback when using it to control the character's movement. The music was good though, and I thought that the story had some pretty interesting twists and turns. It's just too bad that game's writing felt very immature and even inappropriate at times given the topic.
When you said 2011, without any other context, I went Limbo. I don't know if that was 2011. With the context of the two characters... See, there's the things where I'm trying to think, does this fit? But I would disagree with the reviewer statement.
Yeah.
I jumped to the Tim Schafer jaunt. With like the princess and the guy, I think it's Elijah Wood. I always forget the name of this game. Broken Age. That's where my head goes. Because it's the two characters exploring around. I think there's some like... patriarchal shenanigans going on there. But I think I'll take the positives before I guess.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah. The positive review is by Exen Gaming.
Perfect. Love you, Exen.
For 8 hours.
Okay.
I first played this game sometime in the mid-2010s and was impressed by how moving the story was. Like a lot of people, it made me tear up. Yesterday, after watching a Let's Player start a first-time playthrough, I decided to play through it again myself. I was not prepared by how much harder this game hit me now that I'm 10 years older than I was during my initial playthrough. Admittedly, the actual gameplay is quite basic. Finding objects in a scene and then assembling a quick puzzle is as deep as it gets, but I suppose there had to be a break now and then from simply advancing the story. This is a game that is all about the story and music, and for me, it's a masterpiece in both.
Nothing that tells me anything different from what I thought. I think I'm going to go with Broken Age.
Final answer?
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Damn,
you got one wrong.
I'll take
Finally.
it. Listen, perfection's a hard thing to stay up to. You know what I mean, Tofr? I'll take a wrong one. What was it?
This one was To the Moon.
Oh, damn it. Yeah. Damn, that's 2011? Shit.
Yeah, I know, right?
Really? Inappropriate for the... I don't see it. I don't get that.
It's been too long since I played this, so I don't remember.
Because I played it for the first time fairly recently, probably within the last, 2 years. And, it's a heavy conversation. I don't think it's so much of a spoiler, but heavy conversations about, autism and understanding people around us. And I thought that was a very open one. And I think it does the thing of, starting off with a very, oh, you got the kooky coworker type deal. But I think, it gets a lot deeper. And I think playing that in my late 20s, I'm like, damn, this game hits. I still have to play the rest of the series, but listen,
Same.
Again, opinions are opinions. You're allowed to have them, but whatever the negative guy said, I don't see it. I don't get it. This game hit.
It did.
Damn, To the Moon. Fuck. Damn it. I'm here Broken Age. I'm like Elijah Wood. I think I was Elijah Wood. I'm pretty sure it was Elijah Wood in that.
It's a good guess. It's a good guess.
Yeah, I was stuck on the two characters, and I was just I was thinking the simple gameplay or the puzzle. I'm like, I guess puzzles. I don't know, but okay. Damn, To the Moon. Fuck. All right.
Give me another one. Give me another one.
This one, I almost read the title. This one is October 2021, overwhelmingly positive on Steam. You want the positive or the negative?
Give me the negative. They're the most fun.
Yeah, they are. They really are. This negative review is by Mark Smo. I just didn't particularly enjoy the card-based aspect compared to the other card-based games that I've played. It seemed the deck building was too random and the choices too few to develop a good strategy early on, and coupled with... Oh, God, it's a run-on sentence. Okay, so it seemed the deck building was too random and the choices too few to develop a good strategy early on, coupled with only being able to draw one card a turn. Enjoying the meta aspect along with the narrative surrounding the game, I just did not enjoy the core gameplay itself.
Only one card per turn. I should know this. It's a deck builder. For fuck's sake. But which one's released in 2021? Is Wild Frost that old? Already?
I could tell you that answer, but I don't know if it's cheating.
Don't tell me.
Oh yeah, I'm playing Wild Frost tonight. That'd be fun.
Do you only get to play one card in Wild Frost? I think you do. I'm locking it in.
You sure you don't want the positive review first? You want the positive review? You want to lock in with Wild Frost? You can. I'm not gonna stop you.
I'm gonna say Wild Frost.
It's not Wild Frost. It's not Wild Frost.
Damn it!
I'm gonna give you the positive, and I'm gonna see if this gives you the answer. Don't look anything up ahead of time. This game is at its strongest when it catches you off guard and when you don't know what's coming.
Wait, is it Inscription?
Sure is. Yeah, I'll finish this one. Sorry, this is a Kestrel Step, by the way. I kept thinking what was near the end. I kept thinking I was near the end, but this game keeps you on your toes for longer than you would expect. There's more content here than you realize at first. A very good game, clever strategies and game mechanics, amazing story, and immaculate vibes. Infinite squirrel strat for the win.
it just hit me after I chose Wild Frost.
Yeah.
Of course, it's Inscription.
Yeah. Inscription's so good, dude.
It is.
It's so good. I even tried. I was like, you sure you know what the positive is?
God damn.
Damn.
Listen, we gotta get you out of 4.
Yeah, do I have an easy one now? Oh no. I'm about to give you the easiest one. This is okay. All right, pick my next one. I'm ready.
Which one do I pick?
Give me Shovel Knight.
Go with Shovel Knight's not on my list.
Why?
Because it's not.
Shovel Knight.
Okay.
Oh I'm ready.
This one's from 2022.
Ooh, okay.
It's overwhelmingly positive with 40,000 reviews.
Okay.
But recently, the recent reviews sit at very positive, not at overwhelmingly.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want the negative review or the 3 positive reviews?
Let me have the positive, because I have a game in my head. I have no knowledge of why it would be this game, but 2022, I'm like, it's this one, I think. But yeah, give me the positives.
Interesting. Okay. The first one is by Paparikan, who's played this for 191 hours.
Ooh.
Excellent game to play when winding down for the day or evening. Be careful though, you may want to play only for 5 to 10 minutes to wind down, then catch yourself finishing up a level, and before you know it, it's been 30 to 60 minutes. That's how fun it is.
Okay.
The second review is by Val, who's played for 23 hours. Not only is it cheaper than therapy, but it is also more emotionally fulfilling. Yeah. And the third positive review is by Sushi, who's played for 24 hours, and they say, my favorite first-person shooter.
Fuck. So I can tell you, 2022, I was like, it's Death's Door. It's not Death's Door anymore. Emotional first-person shooter that you can play for quick spurts, but you'll be there forever. Oh God, none of those things line up. Like, because I think RoboQuest, like the sit down for a couple minutes, go again is roguelike, but and then first person shooter, but like I don't think that one's very emotionally taxing. I also might be 2023 too. 2022. Shit. Trying to go back again. It was the year before I was like all indie, so I'm like thinking of what was on my list. I'm like I had a bunch of AAAs. I know Death's Door was on there. Let me have the negatives.
The negative is by Salsa, who's played for 71 hours. This game is fun and more than I expected. I thoroughly enjoyed this game, but I can't in good conscience recommend that someone pay for this game. They've turned a good product into a DLC factory, and those of us who care about achievements get shafted. They might as well be EA games with the microtransactions, because that's literally the next step. I might have picked a difficult one.
So, microtransaction ridden first person shooter.
And indie.
I've got one in mind. I think this is before, and I don't think I'm gonna go. It's not emotionally at all. Fuck it. I'm gonna go with Splitgate.
Final answer?
No, but yeah, I know it's not Splitgate, but like I can't for the life of me think what else it would be. What's the year again? You said 2022. Yeah, I know.
2022. Yeah. It's like none of these reviews make sense when
they're so different. And man, I'll just lock in Splitgate.
Okay, it's not Splitgate.
Yeah, though. I didn't think so.
It's Power Wash Simulator.
Motherfucker. That first person shooting so misleading. But like it is. What?
I went for the funny reviews. That's
valid.
Cheaper than therapy, but also more emotionally fulfilling. Power Wash Simulator.
Okay. I overthought the emotionally fulfilling. Damn it. Okay. Shoot. Damn it.
3 out of 5 is good.
Yeah. I just didn't think about like the microtransaction part. I'm like, no, I get it because there's like all the different stuff. I honestly thought they were all just free updates. I didn't know you had to pay for them. But at the same time,
the worst thing is that apparently with the DLC come new achievements.
Yeah.
If you want to 100% the game, you have to buy the DLC.
Yeah. I think this is why I like PlayStation a little better, because even when you get new achievements, they don't stop you from getting the platinum. The platinum's just for the base game. So if I want to get the platinum for Power Wash Sim, I just have to do what came at launch. I'm not necessarily concerned with 100%. I just want the platinum trophy. And I haven't touched Power Wash in a minute, but I want to get that plat at some point. It's just a long one. a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But damn it, Power Wash, fuck. I honestly, like, right now, it's just like indie shooters. It's Splitgate. That's the only one. That's the only one that exists. Ah, man. All right. Okay. All right.
Give me one that I know.
Honestly, the thing is, I think I won't count this as a hint. I think it's one that you would know, but I don't know if you've played. But we're gonna rock with it. Okay. This one is from February 2017. Very positive on Steam. Do you want the positive or the negative?
The negatives haven't been giving me any luck, so give me the positive.
All right, positive. This is by ZJ Falcon. It beats Poopy Piss Time and Garbage Ban.
Can you say that again?
It beats Poopy Piss Time and Garbage for Ban.
God. No. Oh my God.
I think it's the thing. Do you know what either of those are referencing?
No.
Okay.
I was thinking it's something in the game, but
no, it's comparing it to two other games.
Okay. Can you read it one more time?
Beats Poopy Piss Time and Garbage for Ban.
Poopy Piss Time and Garbage for Ban. Give me the negative one. I'm not gonna guess this.
All right. This is by Emiya, and they also have like the little Kirby thing with like the arms grabbing like emoticons in their name. I love the art style. I wanted to really get into this game and learn its story, but the terrible game design made it impossible. Missions are all very boring fetch quests, and the game itself is super buggy. I played the game from the beginning twice because of the elevator bug got me stuck, and I'm having another bug at the moment at chapter 3. I cannot bring myself to start from the beginning again, even though it's a very short game. Knowing there is a possibility I'll run into another bug and restart again and again. So I guess I'll never get to finish this game. Like side face bracket emoji. I'm just going to stick to reading the books for the lore. I will say I didn't know there were books for this. But
okay. There are books for a game from 2017 that's really buggy. And there's an elevator glitch. Why does that not ring a bell?
Because I sit here, I'm like, I'm like, does this negative give like... I would say the art style might be like the most telling part. I would say as someone who played, I didn't have many of these bugs. I can't think what they're referring to.
I was gonna say Hollow Knight, because I know lots of people, including me, who get stuck on the elevator.
Yeah. Me!
And it has a lot of bugs, like Hollow Knight. Is it Hollow Knight? Please be Hollow Knight.
What's your final answer?
I just have no clue what else it could be.
So it is not Hollow Knight.
Damn.
If I go back to the positive review, and I tell you it beats Poppy Playtime and Garden of Ban, does that help at all?
Is it? But with an elevator bug? No. Just tell me.
Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Oh, Bendy.
Yeah, so Poppy Playtime and then Garden of Ban. The other two, like, I guess Garden of Ban, maybe. There's like 10 of those now. Like the first person indie horror, like cartoony mascot kind of ones.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, this is gonna haunt me.
It's, you know, but I have faith in you. So if you're down, you want to do one more? We do 6. We want to do the whole 10, but then we like, you know, just a little extra bonus one, maybe. You know what I mean?
An extra bonus one.
Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna choose one for you first.
Do it. Go for it.
Let's see.
Because I know which one I'm giving you next, and honestly, if you don't get it, I'm giving up hope.
Oh no, not the pressure. God damn. Let's see.
I've also just had the fucking Risk of Rain page pulled up, and the trailer's just been playing on my peripheral for the last like hour, and I needed to stop.
Okay, I found one.
I'm ready.
From 2016. It's very positive on Steam with 71,000 reviews.
Okay.
Do you want the negative or the positive?
I'm feeling jolly today. Let's do the positive first.
Okay. This is by Cribs, who played it for 4 hours.
Okay.
Forgot this was not a horror game and played it scared shitless, only for nothing to happen. 10 out of 10, I'm a dumbass.
Okay. Okay. That was a positive?
That was the positive, yeah.
Okay. Speaking out loud, because I want the negative, but speaking out loud, I think Gone Home. It's very like I'm crawling around the house, like what's gonna happen, and it's not a horror game. It's very just like the walking sim. So that's my gut. But saying walking sim could be a lot of other games. Could be a lot. So I want the negative.
The negative is by Holden, who played it for 3 hours. This game, lauded for its engaging narrative and smart storytelling, is anything but. The predictability is made worse by the sheer stupidity of the main character, which undermines the integrity of the entire plot and its pacing. A serious flaw that violates suspension of disbelief. The developers had a good idea and an interesting setting, but as always, bad writing makes this game simply unplayable.
Now, this sounds like one of those white boys that doesn't like woke games. This tells me there's a woman main character. That's what I'm reading from this.
Okay.
So I'm not steering away from Gone Home.
Okay.
But it also tells me it could be Tacoma. I'm pretty sure that's a black woman main character. I've never played Tacoma, so I don't know. But I also think Edith Finch. That being said, if someone's going to tell me Edith Finch is dumb, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to go with Gone Home. I'm going to stick with Gone Home.
Okay. It's not Gone Home.
Were any of the ones that I said the right answer?
It's the only one that you didn't say.
Fuck. So hold on. The only one, I think there's Vanishing Ethan Carter. There's the Suicide of Rachel Foster. There's Everybody's Gone into Rapture.
When you think of like elite level walking simulators, which one are you forgetting?
It's fucking Firewatch.
Yeah.
Damn it. Damn it.
But okay, I get why I get why you went for Gone Home. Like,
yeah.
I played that game like in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
with my headphones on, and I was like, "Is this a horror game? I'm not sure." And then all of a sudden, I think I heard like something whisper, "Hey," in my ear, and I just closed my computer and I was like, "No, I'm not dealing with this."
Yeah. That's one I need to go back to. I didn't understand the art of the walking sim when I played that, and I'm like, this is boring. I don't get it. Then I found Firewatch. I'm like, hold on, I understand what this genre is, and I've just never gone back to Gone Home. So like that's one on my list. Like I need to go back and like appreciate appropriately. I blame Greg Miller, who never shuts up about how much he loves Gone Home. But
someday you'll realize the same thing about Kentucky Route Zero.
Nah, I don't know if I can do that.
Someday you're gonna get it, and then you're gonna go back and like, that's a classic.
Oh yeah, lose another fucking 15 hours of my life with that slow dialogue. We'll see about that. If we can get one of the things where I get like an AI chip where I can play the game aside while I play something I enjoy, sure, we'll talk about it. We'll see. We'll see. Alrighty. Here we go. I'm giving you your last one. This one is from May 2024. Very positive.
Oh.
You want the positive or the negative?
No, from 2024. I'm not gonna guess it.
There's too many indies this year, baby.
Yeah. I've played so many games this year. Give me the positive.
Okay. Hold on, I have it highlighted. It's really blocking my vision. I got this as a gift from a buddy. I had not played the first one. This game is fun and it oozes class. It's Diablo-like, but you die a lot and you have to start over. Every time you do start over, however, you get to become slightly stronger. So let me just try again. Wait, why is the sun up? I thought it was still evening. It has adjunct variety, good bosses, and good humor. I really love this character and this character. Spoilers. God damn, hold on, wait. This whole thing, fuck it. Look up her song. Not gonna name the song. This is a very well-made game, and it's very enjoyable. If you like fast-paced hack and slash, you ought to try. Give this a try.
It's Hades 2.
I was just saying, you want the negative? You want to lock it in? What do you want?
I'm locking it in. It's Hades 2.
It's not Hades 2.
It's not Hades.
No,
from
it's
May.
Hades 2. It's Hades 2.
Oh, God damn.
Wouldn't it be crazy? Wouldn't it be crazy, right? Yeah, they wrote about the siren and like just named her song. I'm like, well, I can't just put that in there and just fucking drop everything. Sorry, that was from Lord Imama.
Okay.
So we got some names. But for the negative, this is from Hatteras. This is pretty much the same game as the original. Same engine, same mechanics, same graphics, combat, etc. I even like the first one a bit better in terms of the builds. If you play the original and want more of the same game, you'll like it. If you want something newer and upgraded than the previous, you might be disappointed. Which I disagree with, but
yeah,
I guess Hatteras has their opinion.
I got one.
You did? Okay, that's what we need. We need to have at least one. Otherwise, people would have been like riding gates like, you guys didn't even get them all. That's crazy. Oh, man. But, yo, chat, I hope you guys enjoyed. I mean, like, I won't say there's a winner here. There's no winners in indie games. We're all winners when we're playing indie games. You know what I'm saying? But let us know in the comments how many you got right or how many were, like, insanely off base. Like, Danny, no one's ever heard of Among Us. And I'd be like, oh, crazy. I thought we did. I don't see. I'm blocking out the ones that we did. Bendy. I'm gonna say, listen, if we ever do another one of these, I might save some of these. Because now I'm like, I think this one might have been good. This one might have been a little left field. I think this one's in our niche that we both could have gotten. But yeah, I'm figuring that one.
I want to know which ones you maybe
next time.
I still have plenty left as well, so
yeah. maybe if people love it enough, we just make it the new routine where we're like, oh, we don't have a question to write in. Let's do one of these reviews and see if Tofr can get it.
Oh, good idea.
We'll talk.
That's gonna be the running joke now. Yeah. Can I get one?
Can we get one? But real quick, we're just gonna talk about what we were playing and then what's been releasing this week. So here's a quick plug to tell you to buy some merch, just like Tofr did with that Playlog t-shirt. We even call it already. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So go look at other Danny quick. This episode of Playlog is brought to you by My Freaking Merch. So I'm really bad at reminding you guys about this, but I've got merch. Always in a mood where you don't feel like giving it your all? Be sure to grab the Just Quit apron. Or perhaps you're an Animal Crossing fan and you've seen my mad skills as villager. Welcome. Where you going? Oh, that's right! I'm the mayor! Then you can pick up the I'm the Mayor hoodie. Or maybe you just discovered the channel through this episode of Playlog right here, and you really like indie games just like us. Then feel free to snag the Playlog podcast t-shirt. I'm really bad at taking the time to come up with new merch ideas because I don't sell a lot of merch, but I also don't plug it very much, so it's this vicious cycle at the end of the day. So if you want to help support the channel, be sure to head over to shop.spreadshirt.com/CGDannyB and pick up your merch today. And if you want to take a nice selfie and tag me in it on Instagram or Twitter or whatever other social media sites are out there, I'll repost it because you're a badass and you deserve it. So once again, be sure to check out shop.spreadshirt.com/CGDannyB or check out the link in the description and get your Nomi flavored merch today. Ba-bing, we're back, baby. Tofr. We're about an hour 15, so we can kind of talk real quick what we've been playing. I know last week wrapped up and played Tactical Breach Wizard, so I'd love to hear about that.
Oh yeah. Listen, it's been a good while since a game made it hard for me to put it down.
Okay.
Even with my current game of the year, which I think everyone knows what it is at the moment, I didn't have I didn't have that feeling as much.
Okay.
But this one, I couldn't stop playing. I was like, no, I want to play like another mission. Just give me one more mission. It's a game by Suspicious Developments, and it combines the best of XCOM and Into the Breach.
Oh man.
But instead of regular boring soldiers or regular boring mechs, you get to play with wizards.
Yeah, dude. This looks sick. I love the art style. This is great.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, the art isn't even the best thing about this game.
Okay.
Gameplay is just really interesting because of the mix of those two games that I mentioned, but also because of the unique features every wizard brings to the table.
Okay.
Like, for example, before you breach the door to the room that you have to fight in, you already get to see where each enemy is because you have a wizard that can look 10 seconds into the future.
Ooh, we love that.
Yeah. That also helps because if you do something and you fucked up, you can rewind because you were just looking into the future.
Yeah.
So that really helps, like, bring the difficulty level down a bit so that people like me can play this.
Okay.
Yeah. The game really digs explosions. and also has a major thing for defenestrations. Like,
Oh, okay.
the number of people I've thrown out of windows, it's insane. It's insane. You actually get like achievements for the number of people you've thrown out of windows in each level.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm like not the biggest like XCOM guy. Like I think the Mario Rabbids one is probably where I'm like, oh, I dig this genre. I just kind of play them like really sparingly. Like every now and again, I might have that itch. I don't think I've played one in a hot minute. And if I have, I can't think of it. Yeah, this looks sick. This looks like a time killer.
Absolutely. And the cool thing is it's not just about gameplay, because it actually has an engaging story.
Okay,
where
that too.
It's like your main enemy is actually an ex-colleague of one of the wizards.
No.
That you wronged, and then like it's really interesting, the dynamic between the characters. It's really well written. Like for example, each character has an anxiety dream. In the anxiety dream, they play out just like regular battles, but they're meant to like help you get past something you struggle with. And each character learns a valuable lesson to make them a better person and a better combatant.
I dig that. I like that there's like the narrative for them. I am pondering here, and it is just a trailer thing. They show what the Necro Wizard something here that's got a gun and just shoots their ally and then revives them. Is that a mechanic? Is that something silly for the trailer just to prove that they can revive?
It's a mechanic. It's a mechanic because she's not a healer. She's a necromancer.
Oh,
she can't heal you, but she can bring you back to life.
That does make more sense. That makes more sense. Okay. Yeah. So, how often are you killing your own teammate just to revive them? Do they come back with more health or something? Like, I'm just...
It happens pretty often. Okay. More often than I'd have liked.
Okay. I did see there's also difficulty settings in there, like in the settings menu.
Yeah. It's a good time. It's a really good time. I played it on Steam Deck as well.
Oh, perfect. I was going to say, I don't know if you Steam Decked yet. That's cool.
Yeah, some of the text is a little tiny for the Steam Deck screen, but otherwise it works perfectly. It's shorter than an XCOM game. It's more forgiving than an Into the Breach.
Okay.
But it reminded me of why I love tactics games.
Yeah. This looks sick. I know Into the Breach is one that didn't really grab me like that. I got into it and I enjoyed it enough, but like I wasn't as high on it like most of the world was. But yeah, this looks a lot more my speed. I think is one I could really sink my teeth into in the proper moment where the whiteboard's not staring back at me. But this looks cool. I like it a lot.
I definitely recommend it. It's mostly just a really good time. It's funny. Like I don't really like funny games.
Okay.
This one had me laughing out loud.
You love a good funny.
And it never got old.
Hell yeah, dude. I like that. I definitely am interested in checking out more of that one. Well, checking out it all. I think, is the demo still up on Steam or is it now just out? I know it's out now, but
no idea.
Okay, no demo now. Now it's just out, so.
Okay.
All right, Chabo. Go play some Tactical Breach Wizards. It's a good time.
Yeah.
However, a little less wizards, a little less guns. Let me tell you about this game called... I really don't know how to say the title. I've been saying the Paradogx incident. I don't know if you say it like Paradogx incident. I don't know. Anyway, so it's a puzzle game we play as a dog, right? And you I reached out to you. I was like, hey, they offered some keys. Did you want one? You're like, I don't know if it's my speed. I might get mad at it. I might not good at it, whatever. I played a little bit yesterday, maybe like an hour or so. It's something. It's an interesting puzzle game. I think I would say I enjoyed my time with it. I am really bad at the pacing of it right now. It's almost like, I think they describe it like very Necrodancer-esque, where it is kind of like you're not necessarily moving to a beat all the time. Some levels do have that. But it's more like you're taking a single step with each movement as this dog's moving around these puzzles. You cannot necessarily turn without taking a step, right? So if I'm standing at the edge and I have to turn left, but there's like a gap and I have to like jump over that gap, you can't turn that way. Because if you turn, you'll step over the gap and fall. So you need to like loop around so you can go up, turn back down, and then when you reach your spot, you can dash across with the space bar. So you skip a step and go down. And it's a lot of things like that where there's blocks you have to push, and when they fall in the water, you can dash on top of those, move around and everything. In the early access build I'm playing, it seems like it's all just tutorials right now. You're playing through all the different levels that are just tutorials of, hey, make sure you do this, or like the one tells you like, don't forget, it's okay to die sometimes, and like you find like a checkpoint, and if you fall off the map, you'll respawn at that house. So what you want to do is activate something that'll block your path back, but if you jump off the map, you'll be able to teleport back to the house, and you'll come out on the right side, so you can keep doing that. So I think there's a lot of potential here. It's not one that I'm screaming from the rooftops, like, I got to play more of this one. I think it's got a chill art style. I think it's a fun, like, not necessarily turn off your brain, but if you're just like sitting there, just like you need some kind of stim for your fingers and playing some puzzles while you're doing anything, I think it's good for that. I think it's pretty chill. I forget if this has an official date yet, or if it's just like in that early access state, but
it's been out since July 1st.
Okay, yeah, there we go. So yeah, July 1st, $12. The demo's available, so you guys can check it out, and then if you just want to buy the early access for $12, and then whenever it comes out, you have like the full version. So it's there. I played enough to be like, okay, cool. I always feel bad when I like I get the keys and I never have time for all of them, but I had like an hour to kill before me and my buddy watched like NXT last night, and I was playing this during that. I was like, okay, yeah, I got a vibe. I got a catch for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would be cool if more people checked it out, because it has one user review.
Oh man, I gotta go leave one then. I gotta leave a review after this.
Yeah.
Remind me, chat. If I didn't comment on the video, tell me to leave the review, because if I forget 2 days later, I'll be like, you're right, I gotta do that. Let's see, you also played Demon Mirror, so I want to hear about that one.
Yeah. So first of all, I need to mention that I received a key for this one.
Right.
But the thing is, if I had bought it, I would be just as happy, because you remember how I said that Dungeon Crawler might be my next roguelike deck building. Demon's Mirror might have beaten that game to the punch. Yeah,
talking.
Yeah,
the Axolotl.
Yes, absolutely.
I love him.
So this game releases this week.
Okay.
I think it's out when the podcast goes live. But it has its own unique system to play with. Like the game's visuals and synergy between its cards, trinkets, and tiles are clearly inspired by Slay the Spire.
Yep.
But in a good way. The game feels very intuitive, which I really liked. I immediately got into it. I didn't have to like learn all of its mechanics for like a couple of hours. No, I just started it and I got into it immediately. The standout feature of the game is the unique system it brings to the table, and that's a Chain 3 mechanic, which allows the game to become the perfect mashup of Slay the Spire and Puzzle Quest.
I like that.
The grid that you get to play around with reminded me of another great puzzler, the Mighty Grindstone.
Yeah, it's a good one. That's a banger.
Yeah. So you get these tiles to play around with. Some are for offense, some are for defense, some are for more magical things. And you have to choose, like you have some mana to spend. You can spend that on playing cards or playing the tiles, or a mixture of both. And yeah, it's the synergy between the card play and the tile play is just top tier. You especially because you have cards that will have an effect on the tiles. So it's not just a match 3 kind of thing, but you can influence it in different ways as well. Especially interesting is that some of the enemies actually put tiles on the board that will do major damage to you.
Okay.
Get rid of them.
You gotta move those.
Yeah. So also there's 3 different characters that you can play as, and all 3 of them play very differently. I tried all 3 of them, and they're all interesting in their own way. Like they're easy to get into, but probably hard to master. But yeah, I liked all 3 of them. And the thing is, with 3 characters to play as, with 200 cards, or maybe even more than 200.
Okay.
And with the match 3 system, you have endless replayability with this one.
Yeah, this looks sick. I love a good match 3. Like I always have those downloaded on my phone, and like when I just need something to do while I'm sitting waiting somewhere, I'm always hopping on one of those. I'm assuming this is very much like tailored to mouse and like mouse with the Match 3. I don't know if you've tried on Steam Deck and if it was like doable.
I haven't tried it on Steam
Okay.
Deck yet. I wanted to play it at my computer because of the mouse there.
Yeah, that seems like the way to go.
I think it might work on Steam Deck since you have the trackpad.
That's true. That's true.
But I haven't tried it yet. But this is one that's going on the Steam Deck, and I'm gonna be playing this for a long while. Yeah. It's like we've had like Slay the Spire clones, and then we've had games that are like Slay the Spire, but with this unique feature, and most of them don't really hit, but this one really does.
Hell yeah. It looks dope. It looks sick. I think I mentioned, I think I got an email about it, and it was just one that I'm like, too many emails right now. I don't think I can play all these games. Yeah, this looks really dope. I like the art style. I didn't notice the axolotl yet, and now I'm kind of giving him my whole heart. So
yeah,
I fuck with it. Ah, boy, oh boy. I know I did play a little bit of Mika and the Witch's Mountain this past weekend. I had a good time with it. I know we did an episode recently, and we're already going pretty long. So I will just jump back in and talk about Black Myth Wukong again, because I finally beat the game this weekend. Okay. Really, really enjoyed my time with it so far. I'm in the spot where I need to do a bunch of collectibles, get everything, then do the New Game Plus so I can go back and miss a bunch of the stuff that like kind of either was missable trophies or like, oh, you beat the chapter and now this boss can't spawn anymore, so now I can't get the information or I can't get a spirit or everything like that. Like for one example, there's like this big bat thing that you fight to unlock a specific item. I went and got the item. I never got the boss fight, and because I finished the chapter, he won't spawn in. So like I have his like spirit, I can summon him as like a companion and fight as him, but I don't have the journal entry for him. Like I haven't beaten him, so it doesn't exist. So it's like a weird like, I got half the thing done and I can't do the other. There's a bunch of things you have to go New Game Plus to play. I'm currently in a spot where I'm going to let it sit for a little bit. I have too many other games to go back and do a full like 2 more playthroughs of Black Myth Wukong right now. So we'll figure that out as we go, but I really enjoyed it. I had a short conversation with my buddy Nerdstorm. He borrowed my copy of Elden Ring like last year. He's like, you can have it back. I'm like, I'm in no rush. I'm not going to play it. Just hold on to it. But he made a TikTok about like how Black Myth Wukong won't win Game of the Year because of like, it doesn't have much of a story. And I was just like, brother, I got to tell you, you're wrong. I am not the most like, Journey to the West savvy. That's my buddy Connor. I don't have that like knowledge to discuss that whole thing. But even as you're playing through all the weird like crazy things you're seeing from like Chinese mythology, the goofy monsters, the cool anthropomorphic animals, like there's just really dope stuff to find as you're playing through. I constantly found like the cutscenes in between each chapter, they're all animated in different styles. Some like are very much like anime. Although there's like a stop motion one about like an Arctic fox that I loved. The final like cutscene going from like chapter 5 to 6 as you're like going into like the final area is insane. We're talking like top tier anime level, like cool fabric animations, crazy just like impact frames. It's awesome. It's a beautiful cutscene, and I think they each tell like a narrative, some continuing from other characters, but a lot being just like, here's what happened, here's how this character got to where they were, or like here's the beginning of Wukong, or here's like a side thing that's not necessarily about any of our characters, but it's a world building thing. The set pieces tell a lot. You're just running into all these different creatures and bosses that are like, I remember you, you're stupid, and then they all just like, I'll kill you, monkey. And I'm like, don't say that, that's mean. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's like the most like I'm gonna go and read my kids a bedtime story, or I'm gonna like go read this on my phone to like catch up on the narrative. I think it is still very much gameplay focused, but I think they do a lot of great things to really establish like what the world is, what's going on in the world, and I don't necessarily say like setting up a sequel, but doing the Black Myth : Wukong tells me like game science could easily do a Black Myth something, a Black Myth, like here's another mythology. I don't know if Black Myth specifically tailors to Chinese mythology. I just assumed it was a fancy title, so someone may have to correct me on that. But even if like we talk about Tales of Ganzera, if it's a Tales of Ganzera, insert new name here, whatever. If it is Black Myth, new name, Black Myth, whatever. The polish in this, the quality of this, I remember seeing people saying there were like bugs and stuff in the PS5 version. Until I got to the final area, this game was perfect for me. It crashed maybe 2 or 3 times in the middle of like boss fights, which really sucked because I was like, I'm doing my best to win, but you're kicking my ass. And like that sucked. But other than that, this game ran flawlessly. I had like so few issues. Like I can't see what people were complaining about. Like personally, not my experience, but this game fucks. I think this game is a game of the year. Maybe not my game of the year, but if we get to like the Jeff Keighley Awards and this isn't nominated in like the top 6, I'll be surprised, honestly. With the 10 million players or whatever and like 1 million concurrent in the first like 2 hours on Steam, like the shit's there. The shit's out there.
It's amazing that they got that many players considering women aren't allowed to play this.
Exactly. Sorry, ladies. No Wukong for you. This is just for the men. No, it's one of those things like, and I can't say I've been like watching other people play Wukong. Like there's moments where I'll like look stuff up because I'm like, hey, I'm lost here. Like, where do I need to go? But like, I'm not watching other people play. I assume I forget her name, the DDR pad Elden Ring streamer. Ms. Meek, yeah, like I have to imagine she's playing it, or maybe she's not, I'm not sure. But like
no idea.
I think everyone who likes Souls-likes or just likes cool action adventure, it's a weird argument. People are like, it's not a Souls-like, and I see the argument there. But like on paper, looking at the trailer, if you've played an Elden Ring, you've played a Dark Souls, you can see the similarities. I think this definitely tailors itself more to like Sekiro, but rather than parrying, it's more about perfect dodging. But it's still very Souls-like. People argue it's more God of War than anything, but I'd debate that. I'd argue that. I'd say it's very, very much on the Soul spectrum. So,
okay.
But yeah, I finally finished that. So let's go. But I think that's all we played this week. Right? Perfect.
It is.
I timestamp, but we don't have any. So instead, we'll just talk about the indies releasing this week. From September 5th to September 11th, we have quite a few here. We have The Holy Gosh Darn coming out on September 5th for PC. We have Self Lost coming out September 5th for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. We've got Demon's Mirror coming on September 5th for PC. We've got What the Car coming on September 9th for PC. I'm Your Beast on September 10th for PC. Elsie on September 10th for PlayStation, Switch, and PC. Critter Cove coming out September 10th for PC in early access, and Mirthwood coming out September 11th for PC as well. There's some bangers on here. I don't know if there's any that immediately call to you. You're like, oh, I gotta check out this one.
I'm gonna play more Demon's Mirror.
The rest of these are nothing to me.
No, there's some really good games like Critter Cove. I really want to check out.
Yeah.
What the Car is gonna be a blast.
Yeah, I'm very excited for What the Car. That one looks goofy as hell.
Yeah.
Self Lost is one I'm very excited to see, and like it's gonna be one of those ones where like I know right now I just won't have like the bandwidth for it. But I remember playing the Next Fest demo like maybe at this point like 5 years ago, something like that.
Okay.
Like I played it a long time ago, and I remember really enjoying it. I'm like, I can't wait to see more. It's like that. Isometric's weird. It has like the 3D camera to it, but it's got a very top-down perspective on it. So we'll asterisk isometric. But a puzzle game. It's a very like somber, emotional one. Like I think the starting one is like there's an owl looking for like the baby that went missing, and I think some pretty devastating stuff happens with that. And you're like, no, I'm sorry, I feel for you, mother owl. Like this shouldn't be what's happening. Oh no. I think it's gonna be really impactful. I hope people check this one out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm glad to see it's finally out. It's that weird thing with indies where like you follow it for so long and you kind of forget that it's not out, and you're like, oh shoot, it's finally here. And then we have people thinking like Silk Song or things like Plucky Squire that like, oh, Silk Song was 2019, which it's still kind of long ago, but like some of these games take a long time.
It's true.
Let us see here. But yeah, let us know what games you're looking forward to playing in this coming week. And to round out the episode, don't forget you can write into the show and tell us about your favorite indie game, just like Zenoza did. Zenoza writes in again and says their favorite indie game is Sifu because the gameplay and how the story goes. Little vague.
Excellent reasons.
They are great reasons. I don't know. Have you played Sifu? Is that one you've dabbled in?
Like, I'm really bad at combat in games, and this one is very, very combat focused.
It is.
Try.
I loved Sifu. This is one I was very excited for when it dropped. I think the second chapter is easily the hardest. I don't know why exactly that happened. I just think that final boss is a pain in the ass. He's brutal. I hate him. Going back to like the Souls-like thing. This is not a Souls-like, but you're right. It is very combat heavy. Slow Clap's first game, Absolver, never really hit for me, but like I liked the idea of like exploring the world in hand-to-hand combat type deal. But Sifu's just clean. The art style is awesome. If no one knows what it is, you Your Sifu, like your sensei is like killed in action, and you're like going and fighting all the people who did it to get revenge. And you're going through 5-6 different levels, fighting different bosses. And as you're leveling up, you're unlocking new skills. If you unlock it like 5 times in a mission, you permanently have it. So like you have to make sure you're kind of doing it enough times so you're unlocking all the skills. So you just have like a full arsenal. But the thing is, if you die, you don't die, but you respawn older than you are. So like if you go in at 25, you die, you respawn at 26. If you go and die again, I think it goes like up by 1 each time. So now you go from 26 to 28. If you die again, you go from 28 to 31, et cetera, et cetera. And the older you get, the more like damage you do because you're a more seasoned like combatant, but you're older, so you're more frail. So like you take a lot more damage too. I found a really comfortable spot in like the 40s where I was like kicking ass and taking names and like, oh, I'm still getting hurt, but not like a lot. But I think I went all the way and got to like the late 70s, 80s of this character. I'm like, fuck, I'm getting beat down. But then there was a trophy to beat the game in like less than 5 deaths. I think the most you get is like 30 or 25 or something like that. It was rough. But the muscle memory of going through so many times and just doing it again, I fucking cleaned house. And then I got the platinum twice on PS4 and PS5. I love Sifu. Sifu's sick. It's a good pick.
Nice.
Yeah.
It is.
So guys, if you donate $200 to the Playlog podcast, Tofr will do a full playthrough of Sifu.
It's gonna be an endless run. The character's gonna be 150 or something.
Getting old, dog. Getting old. I forget. I think I want to say 80's the cap, but it's been so long they might have changed that. I know they've added a bunch of like arena stuff. I know there's some mods on PC where I think people just made it like a John Wick game, which I'm like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. But yeah, Sifu. If you haven't played it, I think it's on Xbox now. I might be making that. It's definitely on PC. But I want to say I have like an Xbox release. If it didn't, you lied to yourself. I'm gaslighting you today. But with that, we were like, let's make a shorter episode and went longer anyway. It's fine. We'll figure it out. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Playlog Podcast. I hope you enjoyed. Tofr, if the people wanted to find you on the interwebs, where would they go?
The easiest way is using my link tree, and that's Play Nice Kids in one word.
Yeah. Find it all over there. And then, of course, you want to find me at CGDannyB, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, whole 9 yards. You can watch me cover some indie games. And if you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of the episode. How many of the things did you get right? What was your favorite game releasing this week? And if you're on Spotify, any of the audio services, be sure to leave that 5-star review. It helps us grow. More people find the podcast. Then more people get to talk about indie games. And that's always a fun time. It's always a good time. Tofr, any thoughts before we wrap it on up?
I need the bathroom.
Okay, sounds good. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.